long because we got a season to finish.
Yeah.
So it gets pretty rough. So our map veto will again play on one map with Coastline and Clubhouse banned out. Of course, these were played before. That's why they're removed.
Yep.
Play here, border, villa, bank.
Are we going to cafe? No. All right. Well, everyone's other favorite map in EU, Coastline. This has been an interesting one always for Empire historically on that, but not so much this season. They only played it the one time against G2 and drew. However, GiFu played it twice, and, well, considering their stats for the season, it's pretty obvious what the conclusions of those were. They did not win those. They lost to Giants and Penta. So, not great, but, you know, it's a map
7-5, they got close, right?
Yeah, it's a map that the old roster back when Wilkie was on it, I felt like always really struggled hard on this map.
Oh, yes.
So it's interesting to see it becoming a little bit better map for them over time. But it has definitely been historically one. What do you guys think? And, well, only surprise there is that GiFu got 17%. For me, like
17%, 3% draw, and 80% Empire. I think that's downplaying Empire.
That's generous.
I think that's all the G2 fans that are voting for Sisu. They're like, oh, yeah, we also want them to lose. Oddly enough, Sisu as a city, or you know, Shifu, whatever you want to call it, is
GiFu
north of Nagoya, where we'll hopefully be going in Japan.
Hopefully, wait a minute. What?
I mean, I'm waiting for my visa. I apply this week.
You'll be hosting from
Paperwork
Poland.
is great. Yeah,
all right.
Hosting from Poland.
Nomad to get cut first, so that's going to be some rotation save. Although that might mean Gridlock gets a fair amount of play because this is a decent map for Gridlock. So definitely a possibility there, but Empire don't want to deal with it. Capitao always getting the axe lately, unfortunately. Poor guy never gets. I mean, you saw even in the race that we had, he when he is not banned, he will definitely get played very often because he's just so good. Why would you not? Mira, of course, getting dropped as well, and I got to imagine Echo, but Maestro does occasionally get the ban hammer here. But hey, we've seen Valkyrie get picked a fair amount as well, so definitely a possibility. Lots of options now that things have shaken up a little bit in the second half, and no Echo will be the one to go. I mean, it makes sense. Still probably going to see a fair bit of IQ play on this map regardless, as I feel like it's become a staple. It's almost just like they don't even care if it Echo's in play anymore, especially if Valkyrie's in play, because usually one or the other. You rarely see Echo and Valkyrie banned because Mira's got to get one of those most of the time. So, pretty consistent, but Empire not going to run with that unless they 6-pick to it. Shepard on Doke could be something he has a good history on, but now that he's got nades as well, should be even more effective, and Joystick on Jackal, always good. So overall, really good lineup here from Empire, but Sisu brings some good stuff as well. Eunice on the Mozzie should be interesting to see, because denying their droning is helpful, but Scyther switching over, they don't need that hard breach, as I mentioned earlier, not super important. He's very good on Zofia. Shate sneaking in the Valkyrie as well to get those cameras out, maybe a little stealthier if they don't catch it, but chances are they're going to see him during the prep phase throwing out those cameras.
Yeah, it's a requirement at this point. Shate playing on Echo is usually a good combination.
Yeah.
But Sisu having banned the Echo here, obviously they have the other, well, something else.
They don't want to have to deal with it either, because Empire plays very good Echo as well.
What I assume, looking at the operator picks as well, is they want to be more active around the map, right?
Yeah.
You know, get ops that you can reliably maneuver around the map and make sure that you catch your opponents off guard. Because from what G2 has shown, anchoring on site doesn't always work against a team like Empire. What you need is to shut down their spearhead.
Honestly, here's what I would do if I was Zisu and you're really just hoping to shut down Empire.
All right, nuggets of truth, let's go.
Mute Mozzie and Kavera. Kavera, I know sounds like a weird pick, but it's that Jackal coming out from Joystick that's so effective in helping stop roam clear without needing droning specifically.
How much does Zeronic pay you to say that?
I would never listen to Zeronic.
You're getting paid?
Yeah. It's just that he's so effective at using it to help with the roam clear.
Oh, Zeronic, yeah.
And so you don't, if you're denying drones and denying his ability to catch those footprints, I think it's worth doing. And I mean, come on, Eunice and Shate both played a very good Kavera in the past with G2.
Oh, here we go, kill number one.
Start.
Shate's doing the work, and he's had some pretty good early success.
Well, Shepard won't be last alive for once.
I mean, remember last season in the beginning of it, where we were like, oh my god, or back then, Mouse, I guess, still, well, ends to Mouse. We're like, oh my god, they're destroying G2, and then we realized that no, it's G2 that are underperforming.
G2 were destroying themselves.
Yeah. Oof. So, Dan along the outside is taking a decent chunk of damage. Shate is somehow still alive.
This aggression's working out for Zisu. It's first round, though. I can't see this continuing, but it is catching Empire off guard.
Yeah. No. already. Empire have not wasted any time, actually, through all of the aggression. Everything's still kind of being chunked up and destroyed. The joystick will move in. The flashbang is ahead of him. The Mozzie will be taken out. The second player is spotted as well. That's Scyther to take him out on blue stairs. And go for the plant. Easy peasy. Smoke as well to support you. Dan gets one more. Movitaho through the rotation hole. Karajika for another on Boonsi, who is solo on the site. Yonitor trying to survive here as he goes in through luggage. But he's got to push in through 3 players of Team Empire with a smoke in front of him. The Ash of Dan just peeks right in front. And Empire bring it back off of their Dokkaebi loss. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You lose the Dokkaebi. Usually what happens that when teams lose one player, they kind of get super passive, but Empire never stopped.
No, they turned into a 3-man firing squad on Cool Vibes. Like, just the way they were like, we're a man down, so we'll play 3 strong against the 2 players there. They just, moved forward, just straight up firing squad. And that's the thing too, is Dokkaebi used to be the play for the smoke, but you saw the Jackal's the one carrying the smoke. The Dokkaebi's going to be there with grenades, so they still have that utility. And then because it's joystick, he's not necessarily dying early in this matchup. So overall, that was a great adjustment to the way they were getting played against. That aggression, you know what? Let's just play and set up for trades at the very least, right? Because they played 2-3 strong on those pushes with the flank there from Karajika on the buck. That made it so that they were at least set up for a trade. I mean, yes, Karajika did eventually get killed by Yonitor because he was playing alone, but it was too little too late at that point for Yonitor. So overall, great adjustments there by Empire. I gotta imagine some of that, though, was also trying to cordon off areas of the map and just isolate the hookah area as quick as possible. Yonitor just wasn't quick enough on the flank. And the coverage from Karajika on that flank as well on Aqua balcony was a good cross in making sure that they didn't get flanked so heavily, as long as they had control of 90 the way they did. And they certainly stormed through it. So great adjustment from Empire. I gotta wonder, are Zissou gonna try some of that aggression again? Because it did at least help in the beginning. They do have the Lion now, though, to help shut that down along with the Dokkaebi. So they can, really kind of stop some of those last-minute pushes and also clear some roamers a little bit easier, assuming one of them doesn't die early.
Assuming. So what looks like here is that Zissou are redoing the same strategy as they did last time. Empire kind of do away with their previous plans and will be spawning in closer to the main lobby.
Still same bomb site, though. Back to hookah.
Everything pretty much standard here. If you look at what Zissou are doing, there's somebody lurking here in... Oh, there you go. Here's the Jaeger. And that's what happened before, right? You had the Jaeger rotating in last second. So that's what Empire are guessing. Okay, well, we can deal with that first. That would help us out. And that's the denial of the Mozzie. Always. If you're not clamping onto those drones, what you're at least doing is making sure players can't move in.
Clamping. Yonitor goes down, and Movitaho is already low on health. At least Boonsi getting the one kill into Karajika, or down rather. He didn't finish it, or didn't finish the other kill yet.
Now he gets joystick, and Movitaho will be picked up to 20 HP. So big advantage here. Oh, he tried to cut off Boonsi as he walks on back to the site. And damage is done pretty much everywhere, but not enough to clear out anyone. Goo Mines will be doing a tiny bit of damage here to the Dokkaebi. Shepard will fall back for just a moment. Dan,
the HP.
Yeah, that's really the one disadvantage, because you look at it with that HP pool, it's very much equal. Dan will find one kill, and it's one eliminated. One of the players was lower on health.
The fire rate on that gun as well. I can't imagine Dan not as I say that, never mind. I just couldn't imagine him not finishing off the other 2 players, but he happens to fight the one full health Eunice.
There's no more E1Ds to use as well from Scyther here, so he's going to have to rely on whatever he's got. The Valkyrie of Shate is just pushing up. The grenade is going in the back, and unfortunately, it will hit an ADS. Jonas clears out one, leaving Shepard alone. We talked about him clutching in the past, but with so many smokes, I know there's a lot of time, but man, this is an uphill battle. Go for the reload. No, he's got the SMG in hand just in case Jonas goes for the peek.
They are just waiting now at this point. They have so much time as well to just bait him into this.
Goes in for one. He finds one kill on Shate. Now the reload. A lot of damage that can be put out by the SMG.
I think that's probably the last smoke at this point. And then all he's got to do is find a tiny bit of damage onto Boonsi to make this a 1v1. No logic bombs left, though, and no grenades.
Oh, Boonsi, don't
peek it. Don't peek it. You don't have to. Just play the shotgun.
Shepard knows it. And he knows that he has to deal with one player in the hallway. He just can't find the angle. Boonsi peeks! Oh, the perfect moment the smoke to land the 3K. We talked about Boonsy not really showing up much recently, but man, he definitely did here.
Yeah, still definitely just a favorable 2v or 1v1 in that fight in the sense of like they just had to peak at the right time. It was just purely timing. Usually Shepard will clutch most of those out, but in that situation he was trapped in a bottleneck. He did have time to play with for a rotate though, and I think he was just really hoping to catch Zissou. But I gotta say, that was one of the most firefight heavy matches we've seen with Empire, period. Just because it was so much early aggression, so many fights. A little bit of that from Empire as well. Dan getting into a lot of firefights early, trying to push aggressively against them. I feel like pretty conclusively if Dan had won his fight against Eunice, that would have gotten Empire around. Him losing that fight after pushing in so deep and aggressive forced to cost a bit of the round, but you see the score there. 4 kills for Dan, so he's definitely showing up. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's making any mistakes here, but it definitely could have been favorable, to say the least, if he'd been able to win that fight. We'll see. Obviously, they're going to have to go down just below Hookah now, into Bar, as they've won Hookah. They're going to have to rotate. This is where I think Empire could take this back again. Hookah just seemed to be a bit better bottleneck into the actual Hookah room. Zissou were able to play with. And again, that aggression just absolutely working out for them at the moment. Empire, though, I gotta imagine seeing some of the issues they ran into that round are going to just play a little more careful this round in terms of, again, trying to cover for each other, playing a bit is more of a firing squad, setting up for trades, making sure they have those crossfires for each other, that they're droning accurately, and then Dan just doing his thing. I mean, that's what they're doing, is they're letting Dan enter, play the way he wants to on clearing a lot of the map, which they may, they may be droning, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's blindly clearing.
They definitely are.
It's just the case that he is doing his job. He's like, this is my section of the map. Him and Joystick both kind of have their jobs, and then the other 3 members of the team work a bit more in terms of pushing and taking that map control against the actual defenders to push towards site when the other 2 members have cleared half the map.
Yeah, Dan's mantra is, this is my corner of the map. There are many like it, but this one is mine. And yeah, he does it so well by just clearing things out, as he did against the Jaeger in the previous round. Oh, the Mozzie.
So close.
Peeking around. You'd love to have some support here, but Joystick's on his own. He wants to focus things. Oh, no, actually gets reinforcements. And Eunice has dropped down. This is even better.
This is going to be Firefight City again this round.
No.
Oh, the C4 timing is so critical, and it doesn't work. Not even any damage done.
Really unfortunate here, but they should be able to spot him. There we go. They know he's downstairs. Joystick will skirt right around.
They could double buck as well with that ITA in there if they want to put a lot of pressure on him, but that's opening up shots to him as well.
I wonder if that was a second nitro cell that was used up. We just saw an explosion. I don't know if we can check the Valkyrie for a moment there. Maybe there is something left. Yeah, that was the second nitro cell. It's all out. Chate right now is just barely alive operator.
They were really hoping for those early kills again because those have really paid off for Zissou. But I think this round, that might not go their way, although time does dwindle down here for Empire.
Oh, great grenade from Kajika. A second one as well going the other way, but it won't hit anyone at the bottom of the blue stairs. He does have support from the Ash. It's giving him information on the Maestro Boonsy. He was going to fall back. And Scyther Movitai will actually trade off 1-1. The Zofia lost for the Legion at this point. It's kind of a negative trade for the attackers, but they lose the Jaeger as well on the site. The Legion had already put down most of his goos, if not all of them. And that's his work done. Well, Eunice is on his own and he gets shot from above. Empire pressure from below and hold on to the top. Use their angles correctly with the buck and any breaching charges required.
That was such a vertical round.
That was classic play. This is how you're supposed to do it.
And that's the thing is the lack of C4s hitting, that's what cost Zissou that round. That's entirely it. Because the inability to stop the vertical pressure with those C4s, and obviously, if you can land shots from below as well, that's great. But it's just, so like say Mozzie's C4 hit or Valkyrie's C4 hit, that would have been enough to really slow things down, especially if it had been on the buck. But it wasn't, and so at the end of the day, didn't matter too much. Gotta imagine Scyther probably also brings breach charges as well, so they're gonna try bar again and fake like they're gonna switch sites or at least bring the castle, but Valkyrie again. They like having those cams. I think a big part of that as well is that's what's fueling some of their aggression, is the knowledge they have from those cams.
Yeah.
So I gotta imagine if they didn't have Valkyrie, they wouldn't be nearly as aggressive as they are right now. Sure, there'll be goos and stuff like that that will help, but those recharge slowly throughout the round, so those aren't going to benefit a ton of early aggression. However, you do know Empire takes certain paths in, so having the goos in those certain path choke points can enable you to try and counter someone like Dan, for example, because you're going to slow him down a bit when he hits some of those goos trying to enter the way he's entering. For example, he's entered in through Kitchen, I think basically every round, practically. So you just trap him on some of those bottlenecks coming through Kitchen towards bar, and I think you could at least get a potential peek on him, but you've got to have the angle and the timing to actually pull that off. You've got to know exactly where those goos are, even if you're not the Legion. So definitely something that could help, but I also think having the Mozzie here does at least hurt Empire quite a bit, and part of the reason why they're getting caught off guard by this aggression as well is it denies a bit of their droning also. So just the utility usage from Zissou, I think overall being very good and benefiting their aggression. But that being said, they've only won 1 of the 3 rounds so far, and they're going to try a second time on bar.
Look, the end of it is Zissou have kind of proven that when they're using their utility right, they have the idea. It's there. But the utility is hit or miss. When it does work, it is beautiful. Yeah. Sometimes, though, Empire able to evade it. So far, it's been, well, 2 out of the 3 times. So you require a bit more reliability. That's for sure. Otherwise, it's there. It's not an impossibility. Legion's gonna get spotted, but
wow, the timing from movement. He still has 2 goo mines in his pocket too. Yeah, it wasn't even using that. That's a really good early kill. Karzeka also taking a bit of damage means the C4 has to be even a little less accurate to hit him.
It's Movataho, by the way.
I can't ever say it right.
Movataho.
It's a weird name. I'm calling
say it.
Move. His name's Move now.
I'm not moving away. I need to work.
All right,
it's my job.
We'll start a petition.
Okay, Fabian.
Karzeka holding an angle.
Spam this caster to fire him faster.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Can we get that in the chat? Where's Fabian right now?
Oh. Karzeka, so close.
I like this wooden barricade on the door. I mean, yes, technically it also helps Dan to drone, but it denies his ability to take control of that kitchen and quickly hit them from behind so they can focus on their doorway as well.
The way that Valkyrie turned around was so scary.
It was super creepy. Yeah, okay. It's like a painting following you kind of moment.
Yeah, well.
That headgear.
There's so much time left here for Empire, but it's going to dwindle away. Look at that. So little HP on Shepard. I've heard maybe one call come out. Oh, what a shot. Boonsy.
Oh, they both knew each other was there, but the angle for Boonsy better.
And just so much better when you're playing at the top of the stairs. Scyther unfortunately has no more lifelines to use, so he can't stun lock the Meister in position. Not even the Jaeger. He'll find 1 kill. The second from Scyther. Oh, close to the third. Boonsy is down on the floor here, and he's going to fall back for just a bit. Karzeka will fire in. And won't hit Shate. Actually, he'll be able to destroy the default camera. So at 26 seconds left, this is the moment for it to kind of go.
Huge health advantage for Zissou right now, though. And you hear even a goo mine go off, take Shepard lower.
Oh, Shepard, if you're not careful. Shate is just waiting. He's going to catch him. No way. He knows he's there.
Shate's going to win this.
And it's... No! What? Oh, okay.
Still.
They traded.
Wow.
How did they trade?
Right?
How did they even trade?
We can only see one perspective at a time right there.
Shepard! What? How did he even kill him there?
Well done by Zissou and at least bringing that back.
I just can't believe it, dude. The fact that he actually traded already is insane.
Yeah. That's how fast he was on top of that. He was ready for someone to be in that corner. The grenade was there to kind of help make sure he could turn a little more safely because he was going to be pushing anyone off the other angle, potentially.
I don't know if he knew that there was somebody there.
No, it was just I think it was just checking it. I think he threw the grenade, knew he was clear to peek to the right, and did exactly that. And, you know, pre-fires are so important in competitive play.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. That's why ammo management and accuracy and, like, fire control matters, because overshooting can really cost you because it denies your ability to pre-fire certain things. It denies your ability to play sometimes the way you need to against multiple opponents, for example. So you really actually need to control your shots to be able to take advantage of that. But also having higher capacity magazines does matter in this game, especially with such high rates of fire. We'll see Hookah try it again here because it's just the Bar and Hookah show, which are just right above each other on this map. So it's interesting because we're getting very few changes in the lineup other than whether or not Valkyrie is being played. Empire pretty much playing the same thing every round. And mostly similar bomb sites. So it's down to just very different ways these fights are going down in terms of who's getting more advantageous angles, who's pushing a little more aggressively, having better timing. It's been a very, very interesting match, I think, between these two. Just the way it feels more like a tug-of-war between these two in terms of who wins the most gunfights early or mid-game.
It's been so odd to say that recently. If you look at the first half for Sisu, you're like, there's no way. How are they putting up this sort of fight?
Monitor and Move were the two that they needed for sure.
Definitely. So Dan will continue to move from the same location as we've seen him pretty much every single round so far. Well, three rounds before. As you said, the biggest difference for Sisu here is that they had a singular change on their operator lineup, and that Maestro was played before by Bunsi, and that'll be Shate's job. As
I hope he's not the aggressive. Like we've seen him really not play a good aggressive Maestro before.
I mean, they banned the Echo, but I'm not sure, as Sisu might have clearly understood it, you don't have to worry much about an Echo when you're on Coastline and playing Empire.
Yeah.
If you're on Bank, understandable, but that's not really the thing that'll be the biggest of deals. But Karajeka's playing from below. He's going to push a player inside of tiny bar, small bar out.
I gotta say, banning Nomad was a smart choice, though. The way that Zisu's playing, it's almost mandatory. I mean, obviously there could be a gridlock played as well, but Shepard, again, getting picked off early. It's his early map control, like his ability to push in, is just getting shut down time and time again, or at the very least losing health early. It's really backfiring on them here because we were just talking about Shepard's clutch potential and being last life. Now that's generally on defense, but it's certainly not working out on attack here. And he is a very good Dokkaebi player, especially I remember favorably on Coastline of all maps. So it's interesting seeing Karajeka also taking a little bit of early damage as well. Dan usually is able to get away with a lot early on, though, and that is definitely helping them in a lot of these rounds. His ability to play solo the way he wants. Same with Joystick, rarely getting shut down early. It's just Shepard and Karajeka that tend to be struggling here.
Now that's a Maestro camera that you would definitely not expect to be set there. You're in the middle of the hallway.
If you try and take it down, you might just get peeked at the same time.
And Bunsi's going to finish off Dan, so that's the second player taken off of the window. And Bunsi's still watching. Maybe there's somebody on the opposite end of the balcony. There's Joystick there, but it's Karajeka to try and counter that angle on his own. I'm not sure if he's going to go for the reverse repel. And unfortunately, the smoke, actually, it does not pop. It does get hit by the ADS and taken away. Smoke's on the window. Shate finds Joystick, and Karajeka's on his own. He's getting peeked from the side of Bunsi. There's still the shotgun here to use if you need to. Scyther's really the only one that can do much for Empire.
Yeah, it was a 5v2 a second ago. Eunice is waiting for that peek and times it well. Just down to Karajeka on low health.
And that's Diffuser on its own. There's no time left. Karajeka tries to come in from below. He's going to try to hit up blue stairs here, but there's nobody to find. Mods is already retreated, and it doesn't really matter. Oh, we'll find Eunice, actually.
That's Eunice being generous there. Here, I'll gift you one kill.
But it doesn't matter. Sisu, take the advantage.
Wow. I never thought I'd hear those words during this season, especially against Empire. It's such a change for this team. I mean, luckily at least Gomfi and Sleben, I imagine, are still getting paid right now, despite their inability to play, as the org has sounded very dedicated to them as players in terms of making sure that they work out as well as the whole team. But it is a bummer that they, get moved off of this team only to not play, and then to see their former team suddenly doing decent. However, they have yet to find a win, so there's the gridlock I was hoping to see. Shepard has been having luck on the Dokkaebi, so Nomad not being in play, you got to know that, they banned Nomad to be able to roam this aggressively. Probably should have seen that gridlock play earlier, but hey, it's not too late at this point. This is still the last round, though, of attack, so you're only going to get a little bit out of it, but anything you can do to deny their ability to push aggressively against you, absolutely worth it. I'd like to see Shepard make a huge impact with that this round.
What I'm really looking forward to is the first round of Sisu's attacking side. I think that's really going to be the part of it that will matter the most.
I think that's where we'll see Empire take lead.
You would imagine so, but I mean, Empire always have Joystick running around, specifically on this map, on the Jaeger doing so much work, right? If Sisu were bringing the right tools, as they are on defense, and clearing out that op early on, then they might actually have this one in the bag.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't have the stats or anything to back this up. This is more of an impression, but I always feel like Zisu's aggressive defenses are their only strength. I don't feel like their attacks are really that great. I mean, I get your point, though, in terms of countering things specifically and whatnot, but I don't know. I mean, maybe they're going to run Gridlock every time to try and shut him down. We'll see.
I mean, so far on Sisu's attacking rounds, so in the past 2 play days that they've had, in 8 and 9, they've played, they've won 10 rounds, right? 4 of them were on attack.
So majority on defense.
So technically, they've lost more on attack. So maybe it's not really substantial if you ask me, but still, Karjeka finds Jonas.
I mean, but that's in the second half. I'm talking overall for CC.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're a little bit different as a team, you know, with the
They're
players.
Like pretty much an entirely different team at this point, I guess.
Yeah. So at least Karjeka getting the kill there onto Eunice, that's important to make sure any Mozzies won't be used against them. But Shepard, regardless of whether he uses the tracks well, I like that gun skin. It's like lava. But
yeah, this is...
Oh, this is good.
That was the year 3, how do you say, the pass.
Yeah?
Year 4 pass,
That's why I don't have it then, I guess. Rip me.
Caster doesn't have the year pass.
I can buy them when they're renowned. It's fine. Bootsy, though, at least trading one back onto the Dan, who usually is the first to go. So that's good. But at the same point, it's 4v2. I don't know if this could work. I mean, you've got to start by taking out Karjeka first. Or if you take someone else out full health, great. I think it leaves Karjeka at low health, but Shepard has been able to get at least 2 sets of tracks up. Still has 1 left in the pocket, cut off rotation, especially when they go for execute. And then the smoke's in the pocket here, so plenty for an execute setup. You see some of those tracks right there. Empire in a good position here, plenty of time left as well. They've got diffusers still in hand. They just need to isolate these last 2 players set up for that execute. Actually, they've got 4 sets of smokes too, because they just threw 1 of them from the Gridlock.
Yep.
They're now down to 2 from the Jackal.
That's why Gridlock's such a great operator. Now the Jackal has found the Maestro in the back, and he's being tagged. No, Bunsi's still alive for a moment. He finds a kill. Shate gets 1 as well, but Karjeka finishes off Bunsi. It's only Shate alive against 2 with the Fuser on the floor, exposed. So, should Shate find this? He does!
What?
Scyther's on the floor, and now it's in equilibrium. Empire with Karjeka and Shate. The last 2 alive with so little time left.
So little HP left. Karjeka could just take a slight hit. MPX is not a strong weapon. It's mostly about headshots, but with such little health, you don't have to hit the head.
The ADS will catch off the grenade. You've got 10 seconds left. You have to go for the gunfight. Shate's on the floor. It's so perfect for him. Do you know where he is? No, you do not. Karjeka fails, and Shate wins out the gunfight. Low HP saves the day and propels Sisu to a 4-2 advantage at the half.
Something is going on with countering Empire lately. They get 7-3'd by G2, and now this?
Empire... They got 2nd place at Invitational. They won Milan. They won Raleigh. And now they're saving strats. They're washed up. They're the G2s of this season. It's confirmed.
Who should they drop, too?
They've had... They should start picking up Finnish players.
Drop Shepard, right?
No, they have to start picking up Finnish players.
They'll just take Yonitor.
Yeah, well, they pick up Movetaho, Yonitor, Jonas, whatever it may be. Yeah. That's how other teams, unspecified, have fixed their issues in the past.
Yeah.
So, hey man, it happens. There's no other Finnish players on,
you know what,
any other teams.
Unzi heard me. 9 for him.
He's doing work, man.
All right. Well, good for him. Pat on the back, high five, and all that.
Let's see if they can put the bounce in the pounce. They can bounce back with Boonsy at the helm and get those 3 points on the board. Man, at least 1 would be huge. If right now you're a G2, Giants, Na'Vi, or Vitality fan, you are cheering Sisu like
you're literally talking half of an EU fan. If you're half of an EU fan,
everybody's an EU fan. That's
exactly
besides the point.
Like, if you can breathe, then you're cheering.
You're cheering against Team Empire right now during this game so far. So
I could see Empire coming back from this, but this does feel like Zissou had been able to counter a bit of Empire. It's just, I mean, I hate to lean on this, but it does feel like just a lot of winning gunfights.
You know, sometimes all we need is somebody to lean on.
I guess.
And usually Empire rely and lean on joystick.
Hopefully they have a better center of gravity than you, otherwise that could be problematic.
Okay. How much did Veli pay you to roast?
No, I do that for free.
Okay.
I'd pay to do that.
Unfortunately, it's the best part of your job. Shate will find the first kill on Joystick. Oh, this is huge for Sisu. It's exactly what we were talking about. Karjika, he just gets forced back. What do you do now? The lobby is the last refuge for Karjika, and the site is just going to be taken pretty much from the front. This is huge right now, what we're watching. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you understand the gravity of the situation. This does not really happen, yet it is. So, Shepard is going to be pressured by Bunsi here. So X-Kairos up and used, but Karjika denies them, at least the majority of them. Is there anything left? Yes, there is. There should be a couple discs here. Not sure if the Bandit will take him away. The Monitor coming in from below. That's the advantage of using the 7.62, just because the caliber-based destruction that just helps you out so much.
Yeah, I was really glad when they added that. Although it took a few tweaks to get it exactly right, but Yonitor not finding anyone is good here, because now, of course, his position is given away. Oh, as I say that, though, and he doesn't win the fight. Dan just taking a tiny bit of damage in that fight as well. It's evened up a little bit, but Joystick going down first was not favorable at all in the fight against G2. And Karjika, unfortunately, running into that Claymore. Not great. You really got to have a little bit better intel. Well played by Zissou, who just continue to be countering Empire here.
So Shepard will throw out a smoke. It will hit Sisu squad from the other side of the wall, and Yunus going to pressure in. Oh, Scyther catches him off. He finds the headshot. That's a 3v3. 25 seconds. You need every single one possible, and Dan gets one on Movataho as well. It's not even a bullet hole. They go in for the plant. There's no nitro cells left, and I assume there's no more smokes. Yeah, there we go. They're all gone. You have to go for the push, and pressure being put down from Sisu in the back. Oh, they're going to drop one player. That's Shate on the floor. They line up at the wrong moment. Shepard and Scyther save the round for Empire as they pick up their first one in defense.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was Zissou a little bit misplaying that. They had the advantage there in terms of getting that. The angles were somewhat working out for them, the lack of utility from the defenders. They absolutely could have made that plant work if they just didn't mistime their peaks. For example, the lining up, he was just firing through the wall, trying to do some damage, and not waiting until he was done shooting to push that wasn't the play there. And giving Empire the round there to try and catch up, not great. As you were at a strong advantage there, Zissou, and despite losing Joystick early, Dan winning his fight, though, I think was really what kind of tipped things over a bit, because, of course, had he gone down as well, that's two of the strongest fraggers just not on the board anymore. They will go to Kitchen first before Bar, though. A little bit different from what we saw from Zissou.
Devin, question. Do you remember what Joystick started playing when G2 and a few other teams banned the Jaeger against them?
Do I remember when they banned the Jaeger against him?
Yeah, what did he go to?
He tried a few different roles. None of them really worked that great. I'm trying to remember specifically. I know when he got Ash banned against him, he switched over to Jackal, and eventually IQ a little bit. I'm trying to remember on defense.
Because I can't remember for the life of me.
I mean, it didn't happen a ton because it didn't turn out to be as impactful, I think, as people wanted. But yeah, I can't recall exactly. I don't think he played anything consistently.
10 seconds left.
It might have been Vigil. I'm thinking.
If you know in chat, please let us know.
Yeah, I just don't recall specifically. It's been a while.
Yeah, it definitely has been a while, so this is like not as fresh in our heads. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Vigil.
It's like the Price is Right music starts playing in the back.
Yeah.
All right. Shate just on the top rappel here up to the DJ balcony. It's going to need to take control of the lounge, and after VIP, then you can move on. We assume that Empire might want to nitro him from below. There's possibly only one available. I'm not sure if the Mozzie is bringing it this time. It usually is. Most players do, but sometimes you've seen the barbed wire brought on the Mozzie.
Yeah, that is a low amount of C4 for playing Kitchen.
It's already been used, Nitro Cell, actually. So it's kind of a waste. There's no longer that pressure that Empire can use from the top. Movataho getting some help from Bunsi here and opening up the wall into long 90 here.
Upside for Empire, though, is there is no roam control in terms of the gridlock or the Jackal or anything like that, so they can rotate back up for retake at least on top floor.
Somebody as well watching close by of the lobby or security. Grenade right into the Jaeger.
Ironic.
Should have worried about grenades, that's for sure.
Always love to see those.
Okay, Sika coming around the back.
It's too bad a pocket ADS doesn't just defend you yourself. You know, like if someone throws a grenade at you, just lasers right out of your pocket or whatever.
Roaming ADS. Like,
yeah, just hanging out of your back pocket.
Why not? Jonas and Yonitor have taken quite a bit of damage, though, early on. Movataho also sprays right in the legs of Dan, and somehow he's left to 50% HP. That wasn't enough to get the kill. Karjeka was not spotted. Shate droned him out.
Well, I mean, low health here, even though it's a 5v4, this is doable for Empire. They've just got to turn around and take down Eunice and Yonitor very quickly. Oh, there we go. That's a good capture there for Shepard, who can now use that drone against him, set it up as a bit of a flank watch. Also help use it for retake scenario. So when Mozzie captures his drone that late right in the round, if he's able to sit in secure position, he can drone upstairs and check for any kind of flank watch, use that to help the roamers that are left be able to go for that flank, even himself, but Karjeka is more likely to be the roam operator, and there he goes. First kill, and that is even onto one of the full health ops here, potentially, or no?
Unfortunate. Movataho has found one, and Dan shuts down Bunsi before he can set the diffuser. So now it's just dropped in front of the defense. That's not great. The support wasn't there, and you're 3v3, and you want to talk about HP? Yeah, there's not a lot of it left.
Dan was the newest member of this team, but he's one of those few players that just shows up instantly as a member of a team.
He's one of the best players in the world so far. I can't wait until we see documentaries about him.
15 seconds left.
Jonas is watching for Shepard, maybe if he can find him, but no, Dan will collect one, and he'll collect two. That makes a 4K for the Legion at the end of the round, and Empire bounce back.
A much, much better round for Empire overall that round. Despite losing a lot of people early and coming down to a 4v5, it was a favorable 4v5 in the sense that they had the health advantage on all their players. They took down one of the Buck, who was at full health, to even it up to a 4v4 with health advantage onto the players. And Dan just coming alive there towards the end. Plus, I got to imagine that Mozzie drone helped a little bit. Although, you know, there was limited time for Karjeka to have repositioned a bit because he did die shortly after that. But still, good round for Empire. Definitely playing very flexible as well in terms of their defense. Maybe a little bit less aggressive than we saw from Zissou. But also, they are getting punished a little bit when they're playing a little bit too aggressive on their defense. Zissou seem to be doing a good job of their droning, things like that, despite the Mozzie. Although we did see a Mozzie, you know, capture at least one drone, so we know it is doing some work as well.
It always does, right? You can't really 100% escape it.
I think he's one of my, like, out of the last few releases, I think Mozzie and Goyo are definitely my two favorites to come out of it. Both defenders, but very, very good ones that are, like, not overpowered, but very strong.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll let me play Legion then.
Maybe, yeah, maybe we could trade, but probably not. You could be Mozzie, I'll be.
Impossible. Well, actually, the TCS G12, since you mentioned Goyo, but we can talk about Clyde for a moment because I haven't seen him today so far.
Yeah.
That TCSG max damage until 20.
Is that what you run with? Because the Vector is just fun.
Depends on the map. But if you're going to play like medium long range, that TCSG, and again, 20 meters is a massive distance.
I wouldn't know. I'm American. I don't know what meters are.
That's like, how many feet?
I think a meter is close to a yard, and that's 3 feet. So 3 times that, right? Like 60 feet-ish? Something around there.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of feet.
A lot of toes.
Yeah. Good spotting there from Eunice. They haven't capitalized on it yet, but Scyther is spotted. Now he's stunned. They have 3 people to push this, and is he going to win it? Probably not.
So much CC to hold him down. He finds still 1 kill.
Worthwhile, though. Karjeka also following that up on the Shate. Now advantage Empire.
This is huge. You lose the alibi. That's completely fine. And then you exchange the Zofia and the Ash for it. Beautiful play here from Empire. Unfortunately, there was nothing set up for the Legion, but Dan is ready, and he pounces on his opponents playing inside of security. Movataho lost. Can he get the second? No. Bootsy somehow is still alive on the Habana, but this round is pretty much done. I mean, we're at 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Empire would have to flub this a bit at this point, or just really play off of bad intel. But if Empire plays smart, play sound, and just use what intel they have left here, because they had some black eyes, and they might have even captured a drone, plus the goo mines, they have some things they can use to their advantage here. Heck, some of the attackers could even get spotted by hitting a Prisma. So there are things they can do to just play time and play smart. There is a 1.5 minutes left, though, so Zissou aren't too bad on time. But, I don't know, I could see this very, very Empire-sided at the moment. And just look at it, I mean, Zissou basically barely inside the building right now. just a perimeter being set up by Empire and completely being established. This is the lines you do not cross. This is pretty much the area.
When you have to use your X-Kairos on a softball, this is when you know
desperation is set in.
It definitely is desperation. You got breaching charges on the IQ, but you need Jonas to come around the back. You need him to pressure to allow you to do any of this.
Eunice just waiting for the right timing and call, though, because he's got a backup Boonsy who has like no health, so really Eunice almost needs to be more of a distraction so Boonsy can accomplish anything with that gun.
And even then, won't be enough. There's supposedly a player on the top floor watching. The Mozzie Shepard peeks around, but Boonsy is still alive for just a moment. Joystick finds Eunice, and it's all on the low HP. Habana, a quick burst here from the Jaeger, the 416. Joystick finds another victim. The end of the round, and Empire take the lead. Whoa, so this is what we were talking about.
That's what I said, that once it comes to this side, Empire are going to take the lead, just because the attacks aren't that great from Sisu. They're better than they used to be, but they're not great. That being said, it's not like Empires were that great either. They definitely struggled. Obviously, they lost a bit too many, I think. However, they have gotten very close to match point already. They've won all 3 of their bomb sites in a row, and they get to go back to Hookah now. So they did want to do Kitchen before Bar, but otherwise the same 3 sites that we saw Sisu able to successfully defend on their last 3 defensive rounds. We don't really see Sisu bringing out the gridlock and stuff so much, though, to deny this movement. They are at least bringing the Jackal, but it's just... They really need to be able to push in a little bit stronger. They need to be able to do something to do more than just stun Empire. Like I said, that last round, it felt like Empire kind of drew a perimeter around the office and security, where Dan was playing or where the Alibi was playing, and just said, these are the lines you cannot cross without at least losing a man.
Yep.
And they did that. They both, Dan and the Alibi, took down at least one before dying and just established a really good start there. They've got to do something to be able to get past that. Maybe it just needs a lot. They need a lot more playing around from different areas of the map. They need someone like Dan to just come in and take half the map over. I think that would be a big game changer for them in terms of that level of control. Maybe that needs to be Eunice on that Jackal. Come in and take that. They are going to bring Shate on the sledge this time, so something a little bit different. Both SAS operators being brought here. So, I mean, the only SAS operator missing is Mute at the moment, because Smoke, of course, is being played as well. But there's Scyther on the Vigil, so he's going to be able to help roam with Joystick. But Joystick at least did a bit better that last round. Not too much, though.
It's been the same style of pressure every time.
Yeah.
Right? Even both teams were doing it as well. And Eunice actually gets Joystick. So that's a great start here to clean up the Jaeger. But Dan gets Yonitor almost immediately. And that refrag is massive.
That's definitely a very good one in terms of just a really good gun taken down. Not to mention the fact that he gets away with it barely taking any damage. But he did take damage, of course. That will hurt. But yeah, like you said, it's a little predictable, and I think they played against that. To be fair, though, he did Joystick did lose his fight.
So you get one player, but in the past, even if you look at this couple of rounds ago, still, Joystick's loss was not that big of a deal for Empire, right? They were
more so in the G2 match.
More so in that game. So it's just different dynamic when you're facing off against Sisu. Jonas is looking for any feat, but he won't be finding anyone.
I feel like Joystick's just going to need to change up his play style a little bit.
UNS, Joystick, same thing.
Did I say Eunice?
I said.
Oh no, I'm just talking. Joystick, I think, needs to a little bit. Just because he's getting a little too predictable. Teams are starting to shut him down a bit more. At certain maps as well, I imagine that matters more than others, just because you can predict a little bit more how he's going to play.
I think this is all set to allow for the refrag, pretty much. Maybe if he can get a kill, but it's all set for it. Movataha will go in for the plant. Shepard will tag him through the wall. That is something that exists in the game, but it will run away right before the smoke goes off. And Scyther will open up a hole from below. UNS is watching for rotations coming up for the back stairs here. Movataha will be forced back again. He goes in and he inhales a bit of the smoke.
Just needed a second whiff, I guess. He was feeling it. It is the hookah bomb site. Dan, though, get his kill onto Shate. Movataha feeling desperate here. He needs his teammate on flank watch to move up and start putting pressure on as well.
No, Movataha still has not been able to go for the plant, as yet again he's solo on HP, and you see all of that thanks to the smoke. You can tag people through the wall. That is mechanic, by the way. Flashbang will be thrown right into the B site as Shepard has maneuvered himself into a better position. The Hibana must have been forced out of her spot on the roof here because you just need the manpower. Diffuser's been set. Boonsy's the last man alive, but he is pressuring from the opposite end. He can do work, but it doesn't matter. There was still a reinforced wall stopping him, and Karjeka turns around with that Empire skin on the Bandit and finds the kill.
A lot of credit, I think, to Karjeka that round. The reason I say that is he was keeping Shepard alive by just constantly covering Hookah side and making sure that the flank wasn't there so that Shepard could play the way he needed to consistently delay that plant. Because his ability to stay alive in that little bar there just made sure that they were continuing to dwindle on time, to dwindle on HP. He's playing the smoke smart. They even tried to bring the smokes over from the Jackal to try and bait out more smokes, to try and drain all that. But by that time, they were starting to run low on time, running low on HP. And Karjeka just continuing to hold Hookah on his back, and then, of course, being very useful afterwards, trying to pressure Boonsy and get the kill eventually. Just a phenomenal job from those two, really holding down sight as well as they needed to. Now bringing it to match point here. Still looking good for Zissou in terms of points, but I gotta say that I don't think they're going to break their streak. As Empire have now gone 4-4-4 on defense, and I can't see Zissou being able to come back too without Empire being able to get one more.
14 kills for Dan.
He's shown up, and then you got Scyther and Karjeka also almost at double digits. Joystick and Shepard actually a little bit lower than usual, so the other team members kind of picking up, to match it. Dan especially has been a force to be reckoned with this match.
Yeah, Dan on the attacking side was definitely doing the work for Empire, and we'll see if he continues to do so here, running the Lesion.
He's at least dropping one around, though, on defense.
And imagine if it is, again, a 7-5 for Empire, and Zissou loses for the third time in a row, 7-5.
I gotta say, though, the Empire are showing some weaknesses. Oh? And I feel like this is a bit of a cooldown from Raleigh.
Honestly, for Zissou, the best they can look for here is 1 point. That is, there's no way around it.
Yeah, they can't get a win at this point.
So, regardless, it's not great. However, should Zissou tie this, that would be they would be doubling their points, 1, and 2, prevent Empire from going.
I feel like if you're Zissou at this point, this late in the season, you're going to be in 8th place. You're not going to get out of that 8th place. I don't see it happening because other people are also going to move forward. You almost don't even need to play these rounds, and I really hate to say that, but mathematically and the way that they've been playing, there's almost no point for them.
Okay, big brain, Emzo. Thank you so much.
It feels bad to say that. I'd love to see them do something about it, but without auto-relegation, they just don't really need the tie so much. All that does is hurt Empire. That doesn't really help Zissou.
Yeah, that's great if you're, as you mentioned before, a fan of literally...
If you're half of EU.
Half of EU. Even more than that. If you look at it, majority of fans, I guess.
If you're a fan of anyone but Empire, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But here we are. Movataho with his second EMP being used out. Grenade will be shot in the back. And is there an ADS? Yes, there is. Joystick will survive in the back. I'm not sure how many charges are still left on that ADS, but at least the shield gets broken. Oh, Joystick finds 1 kill on Shate. Karjeka comes around from the back. There's already somebody watching him.
There we go.
And Boonsy will be able to collect it as Joystick in the meantime gets a kill of his own. So Dan and Karjeka lost. Scyther goes in close and finds Jonas.
Long gun.
It just sits right behind the lobby and the lobby desk. And yeah, as you said, C70, great gun, pretty long for what it is. And yeah, you can spot players pretty easily around the corner if they're not checked.
Finally, Joystick shows up in the final round.
Hey man, that's what you need from a player like him. You saw him in Raleigh. We see him at pretty much every event. Movataho has entered the site. I mean, Shepard is down on the floor. You can go for that, but Joystick is coming around from the back.
Good rotate, didn't get spotted.
He's checking around at every single location. Oh, he couldn't spot him! Movataho will go for the kill on Joystick. This might actually turn to a 6-5. The round is slipping away from Team Empire. Scyther pulling out his Alda. He'll find 1 kill. Is there 1 player left? That's Boonsy. Shepard on the floor.
Oh no. He has the bailiff to open that up more, but he doesn't want to expose it with the sound.
Oh, the angle is being held from the window, and this is perfect. Pick up Shepard. Make sure you have 1 sacrificial lamb.
Bait him.
At this point, you need to. Somebody needs to go and throw themselves up from the top floor. Unfortunately, there's barely enough time for that. You're going to have to go on and hold it. They're unsure of where Boonsy is. They're going for the diffuser here, and there's not much time. There's so little as well in HP for Shepard. Flashbang will go right into him. Boonsy's just holding the angle. He's not dead just yet. The round is pretty much over. Boonsy secures it. Oh my, he's doing so much work for Sisu. And they go up to 6-5.
Funny part is if Shepard had just stuck the defuse, pretty sure they would have won that. Because he'd been doing it for so long already that the way that Boonsy was moving and didn't have the angle, I don't think he would have got to him in time. But, you know, they make those decisions.
If this turns into another 7-5, as I said before, I know at the end it's going to be 7-5, and there's going to be posts everywhere like, oh, Pro League is scripted. As it, you know, as usual, this is what usually happens.
This is WWE now?
Yes.
We don't have enough, like, juicy interviews for that, like, really spicy, crap-talking ones. Now that Fabian's not being interviewed.
Yeah.
So... definitely looking like there is a possibility we don't get an interview, actually, if Zizu could bring it back. But probably not. I mean, I said that last round, though. It's just... That was down to a little bit of misplay, I think, in terms of the way they were fighting Boonsy. When you look at him up there with 14, and I got to highlight him this time. I mean, I said he hadn't been really showing up. He hadn't been very memorable, and he absolutely is making up for it in this match. And huge kudos to him for, you know, finally making me eat my words at perfect timing that I happened to say that just before this match.
Well,
just a light of fire under him.
You seem to be hungry, Devin, so might as well, right?
Well, we'll see if that makes a difference, though. I mean, it might make a difference if they can win this one round.
The one round, Sisu, if they can tie it up, that would be huge. They would, as I said before, double up their points so far. So
that's sad.
It's sad, and it will be, at this point, they are fighting for their own morale and kind of mental survival, right? To get serious for a moment, because, well, even more serious than the usual. It really weighs hard on you and the team when you keep losing all the time, when you get close. It's even worse when you get close to winning every time, yet you end up losing regardless. Getting a victory, getting a tie, something where you can say, okay, we're in it. We're still in it. Shate will find Joystick. Great frag early on, and Karajika is lost. Sisu at a huge advantage here, much to the demise of Team Empire. Grenade being cooked in the back as Dan will fall back in blue. Barbed wires have been cooked away as you see a drone that has been picked up by the Mozzie. So there's something there. That Mozzie plus mute combination is doing work.
Yeah, that definitely should have enabled some of the players to live a little bit longer. Joystick just continues to get targeted. Mubitao actually took a lot of damage back for that.
Oh, Nitro Cell comes in from below, but it squeaks a bit of damage on him, but he's still alive. That's the important bit.
I gotta say, we're seeing a lot of rounds where Zisu are taking damage and not dying. They're actually getting away with firefights a lot more than they should be. And now, huge advantage here, despite the low health. Mubitao does take, or Tao does take a bit of, and then 2 back. And Shate cleaning it back up down to a 2v1. Although Shate at low health and, well, about half health. And Diffuser in no one's pocket at the moment. Dan just has to guard it, but they can go for a pinch on him.
With a Nitro Cell, Black Eyes that are put around the map, not sure how many are left. His teammates will be checking those as he's the only one alive. Sisu, I wonder how much utility Yonitor has. It doesn't matter because he's going in for the plant. I'm going to try to fire into him, but there's Shate watching from above, and Diffuser will be set. Sisu, so close here. Nitro Cell thrown and will not connect. There's nobody there, Dan. And now he's got to wait for 2 players that are peeking his angle all the time.
Wow.
And just watching every single spot. Shate finds the kill against Dan. That makes sure that a game ends at a 6-6 tie. Sisu doubling the amount of points. Their first tie in ages. A draw finally. I mean...
And against Empire of all teams.
Sad to say, Sisu last time drew against Chaos, and that was playday number 6. That was finally when they got their first point on the board. They stayed at 0 for so long, and they draw and against Team Empire. That is absolutely massive.